you need to send whatever you can. The people there are desperate. The country's very poor, and they're just going to need all the help that they can get. So anything you can do, if 1 million people send $1, that's the magic thing that it'll get supplies to them so they can start rebuilding their lives. Because there are many, many people that died over there in this thing. It's going to be very bad when it all gets out.
Hurricane Dorian was a storm that will forever go down in the history books. Today we interviewed people who lived through the worst of it. These interviews put me at a loss for words. We're also going to talk about the mass amount of drugs washing up all over the state of Florida from the storm, and show footage from our insane jet ski jump-off session during the biggest swell on the East Coast during the storm. Also, money from this video will go towards the Bahamas, so please drop a like on this video and leave a comment sending the Bahamas love, because they need it right now and it genuinely makes a difference. But before that, we have a sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Opinion Outpost. It's a super easy way to make extra money. You can do it from anywhere. All you have to do is answer surveys and give your opinion, and you can make money. For the first time in my life, my opinion's worth something. Now I can use my opinion to buy myself a new surfboard or to do something epic. Click the link in the description if you want more info. Now to get on with it. Believe it or not, this happens every single year. Hurricane hits Florida, everyone hides in their houses, hurricane passes, walk outside and boom.
Hurricane Dorian possibly washed a brick of cocaine ashore in Melbourne, that is.
You walk on the beach and there's drugs everywhere. It has happened time and time again. Anyone who grew up in Florida has heard stories of fishermen finding bales of cocaine and ganja. After Dorian, the Cocoa Beach police were asking random beachgoers to Dorian, telling them to be cautious of suspicious packages after a duffel bag stuffed with 15 kilos of coke washed ashore over the weekend. And they've been washing up everywhere, all over the place. Like I said, it happens all the time. This is not news to me. But be forewarned, if you ever see a suspicious package walk up on the beach, do the right thing, call the FWC, call 911. Don't be an idiot, don't go to prison. And while everyone else was busy finding drugs on the beaches, we decided to take the jet ski out and go do tow-ins at Monster Hole. But we didn't have a rope, so I just decided to dive off of the jet ski headfirst into the biggest waves that I've seen on the East Coast in a long time, in a place called Monster Hole. They call it Monster Hole because there's sharks everywhere. The amount of sharks and tarpons that I saw while out there on my skimboard, diving into giant waves, without a leash, in the middle of the ocean, was terrifying. But you know what? We went for it, and this is how it went. How's it look outside?
It's lit. No, it's pretty windy.
Storm starting to hit.
Yeah. It actually kind of slowed down a
You
little
should
bit.
go see the corner right now. Oh my God. You will get blown straight over. All right, we're starting to get the some beef of the storm. This is nothing. We got like 8 hours before that thing gets closer.
Yeah.
Give us your worst, Dorian. What you got? You're on surfing.
To Hurricane Dorian, inching closer to the U.S. mainland. Take a look at the satellite showing where the storm is at this hour. It is huge, and it's still pounding the Bahamas before moving north.
And take a look at the power this storm is packing. That is the second story of a home right there in the Bahamas. You see the waves lapping up, slamming that house.
And as that storm heads for the East Coast, states of emergency have been declared in 5 states from Florida to Virginia. At this hour, Hurricane Dorian is a Category 3 storm with 120-mile-per-hour winds. We have team coverage all across the storm zone, and Ginger starts us off from Jupiter, Florida. Good morning, Ginger.
Hurricane Dorian is slamming parts of the northwestern Bahamas. The storm made landfall as a Category 5 storm in the Abaco Islands Sunday afternoon. It is the strongest hurricane in modern records for the area. The storm's maximum sustained winds have increased to 185 miles per hour, and forecasters say a life-threatening storm surge of up to 23 feet is possible there.
I also got to give a big shout out to Joe Antonelli. We stayed in his house during the entire storm. He took us out on his jet ski to catch these waves. He does some crazy fishing videos. If you guys want to check him out, his link is in the description. I definitely recommend subscribing to his channel. The following footage are interviews I filmed a couple days ago featuring people who lived through the worst of Hurricane Dorian in the Bahamas. This is their story and their cry for help to show support to the Bahamas.
My name is Linda Leffler.
My name's Tom Leffler.
My name's Rodney Finke. I've been involved with some of the rescue work and stuff over in the Bahamas.
I've lived in the Abaco, Bahamas for over 20 years. We had a business there, sold it 2 years ago. It's still considered our home, so we stayed. We have a home there, and we still have a home there. We were one of the very few that still have a home standing, which we have guilt over. Everything is destroyed. People have lost everything. People that we've known for so long, so many Abaconians, wonderful people. So sad. My son lived there with his wife and my grandson. House was blown away. Didn't see him for 4 days. I had contact through a VHF that they were still alive, but I didn't hear his voice. Abaco needs help. Abaco needs desperate help. We need to get the infrastructure back. We need to get the people back. The people that live there. They've all left, like we have, because there was nothing for us. We ran out of water. Of course, there's no power. We have a generator and only had limited amount of fuel. There's no fuel stations to get fuel. It's that bad. We need help. And we want to go back. Okay, I'm done.
I was a second homeowner in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, Bahamas. I was there for Hurricane Dorian when it came through. The news media, I don't know where the information's coming from, but there's hundreds dead, not 30 or 40. Basically, it was a frustrating situation. The newscasters do the best they can, but at one point it was going under us, at one point it was going north of us, and until the last day or two, I can't even remember anymore at this point, it wasn't supposed to take a direct hit from it. One, obviously, as everybody knows, this is absolutely, from what I'm hearing, a absolutely historical hurricane. So we've got two different communities that are absolutely just wiped out. We had approximately a 20-foot storm surge, which has never happened. There's been never more than 8 or 9, I think. But the most difficult part is once we realize we have a 20-foot storm surge, you then have 10 to 15-foot waves on top of the sea now, which is 20 foot above normal. So basically waves crash through houses. Once that happened, it was a domino effect. The houses collapsed. Now you have broken up homes, wall sections, roofs all busted up. Now at 180 or whatever it was, I'm not sure, are now picking up 8 foot tall, 20 foot long wall sections of a frame house, for example, or a half of a roof and blowing it at 200 miles an hour, and it would go right through the wall or roof of someone else's house. So it was absolutely a domino effect. People were in their homes, they went into the attics, or they tried to leave the front door and got swept away and drowned them all. The death toll, I don't know if there will ever be a total number accounted for. So basically, Marsh Harbor, Abaco is wiped out. It's absolutely wiped out. It's just a pile of rubble, as everyone's seen on the videos. My wife and I were very lucky. Our second home, I built it out of solid concrete. It held together. We were up high on a bluff, 20-foot high bluff. The water was almost over our bluff, but it didn't quite make it there. So we were extremely lucky. The house held together, but we were one of the few homes that did.
We got word from them on Thursday morning that they were safe and they could get to Treasure Cay, which was the only airport at the time that we felt we could get into. We went out and got in our plane, flew over VFR, stayed low. There's just bunker seat crude oil for miles drifting north. That's going to be a real disaster part. But anyway, we got to Treasure Cay and it was pretty much chaos with all the aircraft that were there in the air trying to land. We got down on the tarmac. I didn't know whether to expect problems or not about people rushing the airplane because they'd already had people had been shooting at planes and stuff. Anyway, I unloaded all the supplies that I brought over on the tarmac. My wife and I, she's a pilot, we picked them all up, got them in the plane. I didn't ask any questions. There were lots of planes there. Got them back, got up in the air, and flew back to St. Pete. You need to send whatever you can. The people there are desperate. The country's very poor, and they're just going to need all the help that they can get. So anything you can do, if 1 million people send $1, that's the magic thing that it'll get supplies to them so they can start rebuilding their lives. Because there are many, many people that died over there in this thing. It's going to be very bad when it all gets out.
At this point, I would ask in a humanitarian standpoint that the world come together, realize the devastation that has happened here, the same as Puerto Rico, the same as Hugo and St. Thomas, the same as some of these other hurricanes, but understand the devastation and effect. I had a couple of close friends. One I just found out yesterday from a friend passed away. I don't know how or why, but anyway, she passed away. So there's lots of terrible stories like that. But for the people that are left, the world, I'm asking the world to step up, assist the Bahamas any way they can to put things together to support the Bahamas, to support the Bahamian people. It's going to take at minimum probably 2 to 3 months to get things, what I call, stabilized. There's no power, no water, anything. Unfortunately, in a situation like this, you have people obviously in absolute panic survival mode, trying to get a case of water to drink, trying to find canned goods to eat. There's already Coast Guard showing up and other people in a humanitarian standpoint, and they'll slowly get things under control and be able to send out services and all. So all I can say is please understand the severity and the disaster and the effect of people's lives and families and step up and help. Thank you.